Welcome, welcome. Happy Saturday to all of you. My name is Amy Sullivan with Aspire Zen, and I'm a yoga instructor. I'm also a health and nutrition coach. And today, I thought we would focus in on a practice that is warming and a little bit cozy because, it's a little bit chilly out there for most of us. And we have this amazing tool that is our breath as well as our asana, our movements that can actually either heat us or cool us. And we've been through some cooling exercises a few months back, and now since we're in the chilliness of December, I figured we'd do some warming stuff today. So we're gonna be doing a couple different breaths. You do not need any props today unless you like to sit upon a cushion to give yourself a little lift. That might be the only thing you need. You could also roll up a blanket, sit on a couch cushion. We're gonna be sitting for the next couple minutes. So if it is more comfortable, you could sit here in a Sukhasana in an easy pose if that feels good to you. You can also sit on your heels if that feels good to you. And you may also sit in a chair if that feels more supportive for you this morning. And that is where we will begin in your favorite seated position. And let's just take a moment to settle in. Maybe you close your eyes here and just take a moment to feel yourself present on your mat in this moment. You've made your way to your yoga class this morning, letting everything else fall by the wayside for the next 60 minutes. Start to come into breath awareness now, feeling the gentle rise and fall of your belly and your chest. Just noticing the inhales and the exhales. And then we're going to start to use our yogic breath, our Ujjayi as it's called. So as you inhale, your next big inhale, seal your lips together. And now begin your inhales and exhales, evenly breathing in and out through your nose. And as you breathe, start to allow a little more air, a constriction in the back of your throat, just gently. So it starts to make almost an oceanic wave noise at the back of your throat. And I'll see if I can make it happen in the microphone. It's kind of a... That breath, that building it into the back of your throat is actually going to help build a little bit of heat, a little more focus, and you're welcome to use that throughout class. We're going to bring a few other breaths in, but that's the main focus for our warming breath this morning, for our warming practice. And now maintaining your Ujjayi breath, bring your eyes open if they are closed. And bring your hands onto your knees. We're gonna do a few nice big circles, some Sufi grinds. So start by coming around, tucking your belly in to come around, and then bring your chest forward as you come around to the front. Feel an opening through your hips. We're really getting deep down into the sacral chakra, the base chakra here, just opening through the lower spine. Just a few more on this side, and then we'll come back the other way. In Kundalini yoga, which is another yoga I do, and some of you on this class do it as well, we call these Sufi grinds. We're awakening our Kundalini energy. And switch directions of your turn. But taking all the energetic aspects out of it, we are also just getting nice and deep into our hips and our lower spine. It's a great way to wake up from the bottom up, working our way up the spine. A few more here. Feeling that nice cozy feeling. We're gonna do a little bit more flow today as we'll go through poses slowly, and then we'll come into a flow of the pose to keep that heat generating and going. So come to center here. Inhale as you straighten your spine, and let's do a few shoulder rolls. So make them nice and big and exaggerated, bringing them up to your ears. Drop them down your back. Roll them around. Just nice and deep, warming up your shoulders and your neck. And switch directions. Good morning to all those, or happy Saturday, because I don't know where you are, to all those who are just joining us. Nice to see you. And then come to stillness here. Inhale, arms up. And as you exhale, draw your hands to your shoulders, bend your elbows out wide. Bring your fingers forward, thumbs behind. One more big inhale as you lengthen through your spine, sinking down into your sit bones. And then inhale left, exhale right. Inhale, turn to the left. Exhale, turn to the right. And I'll start to speed that up and make a different breath here, sniffing in and sniffing out. So in, sniff, left, sniff out, right. Warming up the spine again, but further up the vertebrae. And now adding the sniffing breath that is getting into the pituitary gland, warming up the internal organs and systems of your body. Little sniff, few more. And then slow it down, come back to center. Drop your hands down to your knees. And then let's do a couple neck rolls just back and forth. Bring your right ear to your right shoulder. Bring it down along your chin and around to the left. And then back to the other side. Oh, I got a little snap and crackle pop going on in my neck today. I guess I need this. Just go back and forth a few times, warming up our body nice and slow. And then in your next one, when your chin hits the center of your chest, pause there. And then gently lift your head back up into alignment. And good morning. We are nice and warmed up through our spine. Let's come onto our hands and knees for some cat-cows. And we're gonna do these cat-cows a little bit different today. So begin with the basic structure. Knees underneath your hips, wrists underneath your shoulders. And then bring a neutral spine so you engage your abs to feel that support through your lower back. And then what we're going to do first is we're going to flip our hands around. So rotate your fingers out so that you're out and around so that your fingertips face towards your knees, your thumbs are to the outside of your mat, your pinkies to the inside. If this feels absolutely terrible on your hands, just skip it. Bring them back to fingertips facing forward. And we're gonna do cat-cow from here, but we're gonna add a Bellow's breath, also called Bhastrika breath. And what we're going to do is start with cat pose this time. So press into your hands to pump your spine up toward the ceiling, tuck your pelvis under. This will be your inhale. Normally this is the exhale. We're going backwards a little bit today. So this is your inhale, press up, feel a little stretch through your wrists, an opening through your back body. And then your exhale is going to be your cow pose. Drop your belly down, hips up, squeeze your shoulder blades together. The movement in your arms might be a little smaller today because of your hand positioning. And now you're just gonna take a nice deep diaphragm breath in. So it's suck your belly in as you press your spine up. Exhale, puff your belly out as you go to cow. Okay, inhale, suck it in. Exhale, puff it out. And now speed that up, find your own rhythm. Keep rooting down into your wrists and your knees to support your spine. Warming up through your spine, your breath and your movement are bringing a lot of blood flow into the mix, warming up your body. A few more here. And make your way back to a neutral spine. Flip your hands back around so fingertips are facing toward the front or toward the top of your mat. And just take a moment to flip now the top of your hand onto the mat, just your right hand first. And gently press. You control how much weight you put down. I just want to give you a nice stretch to counterbalance. Sometimes those hands backwards can really stretch into the wrist. So feel a little bit of weight into the top of your right hand. And then gently release. Place your right palm back on the ground and then flip your left palm hand over and press gently. You control how much weight you press into it. The top of your left hand onto the mat. So that little opening through the back of your left hand. This is great if you sit at computers all day. And then gently release that down. Come back to your Ujjayi breath here. So seal your lips together. Breathe evenly in and out through your nose. Allow that gentle constriction in the back of your throat. Spread your fingertips out nice and wide like a bright shining star. Align your pointer finger parallel to the long edges of your mat. Tuck your toes under. Engage your abs in. Inhale here. And exhale, shift your hips back. Keep your hands straight. We're going into a modified downward facing dog. So hips back, almost like a child's pose, but keep your hips up a little higher. Draw your forehead down toward the sky. So it's kind of like a child's pose, but hips are up a little bit. In fact, you might want to scoot hips back. So feel your chart pressing down into the earth. Nice stretch through your arms. Press your hands into the mat to lift your elbows off the mat. Stretching through your spine, opening through your heart. Beautiful job. Inhale here. And as you exhale, press your palms into the mat. Draw your heart forward. Your hips follow forward. Coming into a modified upward facing dog. So drop your hips down to the mat. Shine your heart forward. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Look up. Stretch through your throat. Thighs stay on the ground for this, toes tucked. Exhale, modified downward facing dog. Press into your hands, lift your hips up and back. Draw your heart toward the mat. I'm getting a little weird with our poses today, huh? Inhale, exhale. Come back to that modified upward facing dog. Drop your hips down to the mat, heart forward. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, look up. Inhale, hips back, heart down. Once again, reversing the normalcy of our breath. We would normally exhale for downward facing dog, but we're gonna exhale one more, modified upward facing dog. Hips down, heart forward, throat forward, forward and up. Inhale, downward facing dog, modified. And exhale, blow it out. Come into a child's pose. Just untuck your toes here. Let your belly rest on your thighs. Let your forehead come down. Keep your hands extended long in front of you on the mat. Come back to your yogic breath, your Ujjayi breath. Seal your lips together. Make that ocean sound, constricting in the back of your throat. And just take a moment in this pausing of the child's pose to know that you can come to this during any point in the practice or make any modifications that suit your body. Take care of you first and foremost. Root your hands back into the mat. Inhale, press up, tabletop. Separate your feet hips width, tuck your toes under. Engage your abs in. Exhale, real downward facing dog. Lift your hips up and pedal out your feet. Bend one knee as you straighten the other. Root down evenly into all four corners of your palms. Send weight into the ball mound of your pointer finger and your thumb to protect your wrists. Send your belly towards your thighs. Rotate your armpits toward one another to open through your shoulders. And then come find stillness in your down dog. Let your legs come into a centered, still place. And inhale, come to the balls of your feet. Bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, ragdoll pose. Take one or two or maybe three big steps to the top of your mat. Keep your feet hips width. Bend your knees a lot here. Maybe you even rest your torso on your thighs. An option to grab onto opposite elbows. That's the word I want. And then maybe you dangle side to side. Nod your head yes and no. Just enjoy gravity giving you a little assist, a release of your vertebrae. You can play with shifting more weight into the balls of your feet to allow more release from your lumbar spine, your lower spine. And then from here, release your hands down. Root evenly into your feet now and start to roll yourself up. Tuck your tailbone under, engage your abs in. Slowly, slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae. Rolling up to standing. Bring your shoulders back and down. And there we are. Coming into Samasthiti mountain pose. From here, I'll just show you the front view. You can choose to have your feet hips width. That'll give you a little more stability. Or you can bring your big toes to touch. And wherever you are, take a moment to lift your toes, just your toes, up off the mat. Feel now how you're pressing down evenly into all four corners of your feet. Maintain that sensation of the pressing equally into your feet. Drop your toes down. And inhale, mountain pose. Lift your fingertips up nice and high. Pause here. Rotate your fingertips toward the front so your palms face one another. Root down through your feet as you lift up through your torso, elongating through your spine. Inhale one more time as you look up between your hands. And exhale, little micro back bend, cactus your elbows out nice and wide, shine your heart up. Look up. Tuck your tailbone slightly under to support your spine. Inhale, rise back up to mountain pose, lift your fingertips up high. Beautiful job, Claire. Exhale, forward, fold, hinge from your hips, bow forward, bend your knees as much as you need to here. I'm gonna come back to side view for you. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, pause here. Place your hands on your shins or maybe your thighs. Wherever you are, we'll focus on paralleling your torso to the mat and send your shoulder blades back down towards your tailbone. It's almost as if you're peering over a cliff or a railing or something to look at something cool down below. Inhale as you lengthen through your spine. And exhale, plant your palms, step back, high plank. Option to come to your knees here or stay up on your toes. But wherever you are, knees or toes, knit your abs nice and tight up into your spine. Root down into your hands to fire up your chest. Roll your inner thighs up toward the ceiling. Beautiful job. Inhale, come slightly forward. Exhale, lower halfway down. Maybe your knees come down, maybe they don't lower. But keep your elbows tucked into your sides. Inhale, upward facing dog. Draw your hands back, your heart forward. Roll your shoulder blades back down your back. Pause here for just a moment. Press your feet into the mat. This time your thighs lift up off the mat. And exhale, downward facing dog. Lift your hips. Pause here and come back to your Ujjayi breath. Reset, recenter. Lips are sealed. That gentle warming breath, that oceanic noise constricting in the back of your throat. On your next inhale, lift your right leg high, three-legged dog. Exhale, low lunge, step your right leg through and drop your back knee down here. Inhale, low crescent. So finding a nice little stretch along your left front hip, your left front thigh, your left psoas. And if you're not feeling that, maybe you walk your front foot forward a little bit. The tendency here is to dump into your spine. So to eliminate that, tuck your pelvis under. Feel your hip points lifting to elongate your spine. And then rotate your palms toward one another, just like mountain pose. One more big inhale here. Exhale, draw your hands to heart center, bring them down. Inhale as you tilt forward, hinge from your hips. As you draw and lengthen the crown of your head forward. Exhale, little twist towards your bent knee. Maybe your left elbow finds your right leg or the outside of your right leg. A little twist in through your navel center. Keep rooting down into the heel of your front foot to give you that support to help leverage the twist. One more big inhale here. Big exhale. Inhale, rise back up to low crescent. Use your abs and legs to support you. Beautiful. Exhale, low lunge. Plant your palms. Lift your back foot up. And exhale, downward facing dog. Step your right foot back. Lift your hips high. We're gonna do the other side. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, low lunge. Step your left leg through and drop your right knee back down. Inhale, rise up to low crescent on this side. Once again, take a moment to pause, feeling now a stretch through your right psoas. So once again, tuck your pelvis under, lift your hip points up, knit your abs in to lengthen through your spine. Root down into the heel of your front foot. One more big inhale here, grow even longer. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, tilt your torso forward. Exhale, twist toward your bent knee in the front. This time your right elbow is looking to find the outside of your left knee. Twist through your navel center, through your belly button. Keep pressing your hands into one another to help leverage deeper twisting. And then come back to your breath. Use that gentle Ujjayi to build that heat, to also build that release. Send that fresh air into any tight little crevices. One big inhale, one big exhale. Inhale, rise back up to low crescent, arms up. And exhale, low lunge, plant your palms, lift your back knee up. Inhale here, and exhale, forward fold. Step to the top of your mat, wiggle your knees out here. Shake your legs out, inhale, halfway lift, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose, root your feet down, lift your fingertips high, rise up. And exhale, hands to heart center. All right, moving on from here, my friends. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, low lunge, plant your palms, step your right foot back. And this time, fan your right foot, your back foot out 45 degrees. Bend through your front knee. Inhale, warrior two. Windmill your arms up. And pause here, let's find, again, solid base. In yoga, we always want to start with a strong, grounded foundation, and then we can raise up and play from there. So for warrior two, bend through your front knee, send the weight into the heel of your front foot, align your knee over your ankle, and then open through your hips and stamp into the outer knife edge of your back foot. And once you have that grounding foundation, your hips and heart shine out toward the wide edge of your mat, and then you open through your heart. Spread your fingertips out to either side. Gaze over your left fingertips. Inhale as you sink a little bit lower. And exhale, extended side angle. Reach out in front of you as you hinge your hips forward. And then draw your left arm down, right arm up. Shine your heart out, away from your legs. Continue rooting down to the heel of your front foot, outer edge of your back foot. If it feels good to you, you're welcome to take a half bind or a full bind here. So half bind, take your top hand, flip your thumb away from your face, so toward the back of the room, then bend your elbow. So the back of your hand will slide down your back, and maybe it hangs out on your back. Maybe it finds your hip in the front, maybe it finds your thigh. That's your half bind. You recommit to opening your heart outward. Or for the full bind, slide your left arm down the center of your thigh and reach around and find your hand. When once again, recommit to opening your heart, rooting in evenly to your feet. Wherever you are is perfect. Come back to that yogic breath, that warming breath. Keep rooting down evenly into your feet. If you are bound in any way, shape, or form, unwind and unbind yourself. Extend your arms out, up and down. Root into your feet. Once again, inhale, reverse triangle. Straighten your front leg. Swap your arms. Your back arm can rest on your back thigh, or it can half bind again, wrap around your body. Root into the ball of your front foot now. And slightly shift your hips forward towards your left leg, towards your front leg, so that you could reach up even more with your left arm, your front arm, and maybe it reaches up and over. Feel a little side body stretch. So strong, everyone. One more inhale here. And exhale, low lunge. Windmill your arms toward the front. Spin your back foot in line with your front foot. An option to either step straight to downward facing dog, or you can go through a little vinyasa here. So you can step for vinyasa, step to plank, and then come slightly forward. Lower halfway down, keep your elbows in. Inhale, upward facing dog, heart forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful job. 2 breaths here, recenter, reset. 1 more breath. Coming back to the beginning, coming back to centering into you with the breath, this active resting pose here. Next, inhale, come to the balls of your feet, bend your knees slightly, look forward. Exhale, forward fold, step or hop to the top of your mat. I'm gonna switch sides so you can see my face. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Or exhale, forward, we're gonna lunge back. I got confused stepping back, so step your left foot back. And fan your back foot out, bend into your front knee. Inhale, warrior 2 on the other side. Pause here, find your strong base once again. So root into the heel of your front foot, bend into your knee will be aligned with your ankle, and then rotate it out so this knee is in line with the second and third toe of the front foot. Open through your hips, shine your heart and hips out toward the side. Stretch your fingers in either direction, gaze over your right fingertips. 1 more inhale, sink a little lower. Exhale, extended side angle, reach out in front of you till you can reach no further. And then tick-tock your arms down to 6, up to 12. Shine your heart out. You can allow this lower arm, your right arm, to really root in to your inner front thigh to open your hips even more. If you enjoyed a bind on the other side, try it on this side. So flip your palm toward the back, bend your top elbow, slide that hand down your back. Maybe you stay here, maybe you try the full bind and your hands connect. And once again, open your heart out, twist from your belly. Keep rooting into your feet, remember that strong foundation, and come back to your breath. Your breath is also foundational to maintaining that focus, that flow, and that warmth and coziness, that awareness. If you're bound up, gently unbind yourself. Everyone root into both feet, knit your abs in, lift up, reverse triangle, straighten your front leg. Right arm up, left arm down. If you want to take a half bind with your back hand, do that now. Even out your hip points. Root into the ball of your front foot. 1 more big inhale here, feel that good side stretch. Exhale, low lunge, windmill your arms down. Frame your front foot, spin your back foot in line with your front foot, and step back to downward facing dog. Maybe you go through a vinyasa if you want a little extra heat this morning. We meet in downward facing dog. Nice big inhale here. Fill your belly up, fill your chest up. This time, open mouth, exhale, side out. Feeling that? Maybe you release a little bit of heat when you open mouth, exhale. So to keep the heat going, seal your lips back together. Come back to your yogic breath, your Ujjayi. One more big inhale here. Come to the balls of your feet. Bend your knees slightly. Look forward. Exhale, forward fold, step or hop. Inhale, halfway lift. Lengthen your spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, mountain pose. And exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Now we're gonna shift into our inner thighs a little bit. So take a little 90-degree dance on your mat. So now you're facing toward the long edge, and then step your feet out wide. Bring your toes out, heels in. From here, inhale, star pose, lift your hands up. So you're exploding out from all directions to all 4 limbs. Feel into every inch of your amazing, wonderful body. Feel everything awakening and alive. And then exhale as you sink down into goddess pose or horse pose. Bend both your knees. Let your hips sink down nice and low. And it's all right, we can ease into it. Maybe you sway back and forth. Just get into your hips a little bit. Shift the weight into both of your heels. Draw your knees away from each other. to fire up your outer glutes. It's gonna hold you in place. Again, foundation, we root down so we can play up here, right? And so from here, we're just gonna warm up our thighs with some basically plies. We're just gonna go in and out, keeping that yogic breath going, up to star and down to goddess pose. So inhale, rise up to star, straighten your legs, lift your hands up. Exhale, sink it back down into your goddess pose. Beautiful. Let's do that a few more times. Inhale, rise back up, star pose. Exhale, goddess pose, sink down low. Inhale, rise up, star. Exhale, goddess. Keep your heart lifted when you sink down. Tuck your tailbone under slightly, keep your abs in. Inhale, rise up, star. Exhale, goddess. Beautiful job. One more time, inhale, rise up, star. And exhale, down to goddess pose. This time, bring your hands to each hand to each thigh. And now, use your hands to press your spine forward so you're lengthening. I'll show you the side view. So I'm actually sort of sticking my butt out now so that I can flatten and lengthen my spine. You should feel a nice little stretch through both sides of your body. Inhale here as you lengthen. Exhale, start to twist to the right. Bend your right elbow. Press your left hand into your inner left thigh to help enhance this twist. Twist from your belly. That's the side view. I'll show you the front view. Yeah, you got it, Claire. Keep rooting into both your heels. Let's feel a little deep twisting. Take one more big inhale here. Exhale, come back to center. If you want to stand up and loosen things up in between, you're welcome to do that. We've been down in a squat for a moment, getting nice and strong thighs, right? So if you're standing up, sink yourself back down. Let's do the other side. Get nice and even. This time, inhale as you lengthen through your spine once again. Exhale, twist to the left, bend your left elbow, press your right hand into your right thigh. Drop your right shoulder down as you twist from your belly center. Just a few more breaths here. Inhale. And as you exhale, come back to center. Inhale, rise back up to star. Straighten your legs. You did it. Shake them out. Exhale, bring your hands down. Heel toe your feet together and make your way back up to the top of your mat. So moving on from here, we are going to go back to that crescent. We did the low crescent pose. We're going to bring it up to a standing crescent and take it into a nice simple flow back and forth, right to left. So we'll go through it once slow and then we'll flow through it a few times afterwards. So starting here, inhale, rise up, mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Let your heart lead the way as you bow forward, hinging from your hips. Your heart will always guide you steady. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, plant your palms. Step back either to downward facing dog, or if you want a little extra, go through a vinyasa. So here's down dog or vinyasa. Lower halfway down. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. We all meet in down dog. And from here, inhale, right leg high. Exhale, low lunge. Step your right leg through. Keep your back leg lifted this time. Both feet face forward. Inhale, rise up to crescent pose. Pause here. So just a few moments ago, we did this with our back knee down. You're welcome to keep your back knee down again if you want to. Same rules apply for your spine. Tuck your pelvis slightly under. Hips up. Knit your abs in to lengthen your spine. Rotate your palms toward one another. Bend into your front knee, shift the weight into the heel of your front foot, ball of your back foot, zipper your thighs together. Big inhale here, and exhale, low lunge. Plant your palms, frame your front foot. Beautiful job. Inhale, back to three-legged dog. So press your hands into the mat, draw your right leg through and up into the sky behind you. That's your inhale. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Just step your right foot down next to your left. So that is the right leg. We're gonna do the same thing on the left. Inhale, three-legged dog on the left leg high. Exhale, low lunge, step your left leg through. Inhale, crescent pose, rise up, pause here, just to find that base. You can even bend the back knee to really feel the lengthening of your spine, the tucking of your tailbone, the lifting of your hip points, and the opening, elongation of your spine. And then squeeze your thighs together. Even though they're technically apart, they're squeezing along that central line. Root into the heel of your front foot, ball of your back foot. One more big inhale here. Really feel into this pose. Exhale, low lunge. Plant your palms down squarely on either side of your front foot. Inhale, three-legged dog. Use your abs to draw your left leg through and then up behind you. Exhale, downward facing dog. So that is our crescent flow. We're gonna do that just a few times each side. So nice big inhale here. Open mouth, exhale, side out. Seal your lips together, come back to your Ujjayi breath. One more breath here, Ujjayi. Exhale, Ujjayi. Inhale, three-legged dog, lift your right leg high. Exhale, low lunge, step your right leg through. Inhale, crescent pose, root down through your feet, lift up. Exhale, low lunge, come right back down. Inhale, three-legged dog, draw your right leg through and up into the sky. Exhale, downward facing dog, right foot comes to meet left, other side. Inhale, left leg high, three-legged dog. Exhale, low lunge, step your left leg through. Inhale, crescent pose, rise up. Exhale, low lunge, plant your palms. Inhale, three-legged dog. Draw your left foot through and up to the sky. Exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful job. Let's do that again. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, crescent pose, rise up. Exhale, low lunge, come back down. Inhale, three-legged dog, right leg high. Exhale, downward facing dog, other side. Inhale, left leg high, three-legged dog. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, crescent pose, rise up. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, three-legged dog, come all the way through and up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful job. We're gonna do that one more time. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, crescent pose, rise up. Legs and abs get you there. Exhale, low lunge. Frame your front foot, come back down. Inhale, three-legged dog, lift your right leg high. Exhale, downward facing dog. Last time on the left. Inhale, three-legged dog on the left. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, crescent. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. You did it. Beautiful job. Nice big inhale here. Open mouth, exhale, side out. And come back to your Ujjayi. Take a pause here. Just feel into your body. Feel everything from fingertips to toe tips. Do you feel the heat that you have built? Do you feel the warmth in your muscles, in your lungs, in your belly? Come back to that Ujjayi. As you inhale, come to the balls of your feet, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, forward fold, step or hop. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain, rise up. And exhale, hands to heart center. We're gonna do one little balance pose here. We're gonna keep it real simple. We're gonna play in tree pose today. So you can stand at the top of your mat, center wherever you have a little room to send your knees out to the side. And then start to shift the weight into your left foot. So ground down evenly into all four corners of your left foot. Wrap your outer left hip in, fire up that glute, that thigh. That's your foundation, your strength. And then lift your right heel off the ground. Maybe you stay right here. Maybe you bring your right foot to your right shin, or you draw it all the way up to the inner right thigh. Try not to press your knee or press your foot right onto your knee joint. And then find your balance. Maybe your hands come to heart center, maybe they're out to the sides. Maybe you grow your tree into some fun, weird configuration, like a tree in the wind. Just feel in to your tree. Come back to your breath. Use it for that focus as well as that heat. One more big inhale here. And exhale, gently come back down. Release your right leg, shake those legs out. Shake your whole body out, whole body shake. Whatever happened on that side is released, we release it out. And brand new moment in time, brand new you, brand new opportunity, brand new side. Start to shift your weight over to your right leg, root down evenly on your right foot, fire up your right glute, your right hip, wrap it in. So you feel your thigh wrapped in on the right, lift your left heel up. Pause here, or maybe you come up to your shin or up to your inner thigh. Your left foot finds the perfect spot along your right leg, and then come back to the hand position that you feel most inspired to come to on this side. Pro tip on balance, find something in the room that you know will not move. Probably not looking at the teacher for this one. It's probably looking at a nice, steady, inanimate object that's slightly before you or up. And then play with maybe growing your tree swaying in the breeze. It's another great practice of just finding that base, that foundation to allow you to lift up. You root down to rise high in yoga, finding that focus, using that warming breath. One more inhale here. And exhale, come back down. And shake it out once again. You did it. Nice and balanced. And if you're not at the top of your mat, make your way back up to the top of your mat. We're gonna find our way down. So inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, tuck and curl. Tuck your torso down onto your thighs. Lift your heels up off the ground. Find a little ball with your body. Use your hands to support you. And find your balance. And we're gonna come down to a seated position, to a boat pose. Your bum's gonna hit the ground. You can choose if you wanna walk your hands behind you and guide yourself down slow and easy, or you can take a little balance challenge here and bring your hands out in front of you. You're still up on your heels. And then start to engage your abs, tuck your tailbone under around your spine and feel your balance shifting backward. So you'll shift, you'll roll back on your heels and your bum will come down and your heart's lifted, your abs in, and you find yourself in Navasana, in boat pose, magically, or some variation thereof. Maybe your shins are parallel, maybe heels on the ground. And we'll just hold into this boat pose. If you sat your way back, maybe you come up into this boat pose. Take a moment to feel the strength in your abs. We're gonna lower slow and controlled down to the ground. Inhale and exhale for 8, 7, 6. You got this. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Amazing job. You did it. Now find a neutral spine. If you are like me, your lower back probably lifted up a little too much. So I like to press my feet into the earth, bend my knees, and shift. Find a neutral spine, just a tiny space in the lower back. The rest of your spine should be pressed down nice and soft and solid at the same time into the mat. And from here, we will do 1 or 2 bridge poses. Get a little heart and hip opener. So walk your heels as close to your bum as they want to go today. walk them in, keep them hips width apart, and then draw your hands down next to your hips, palms facing down. Press your hands into the earth. Drill your heels into the earth. Knit your abs in, tuck your pelvis under. Press into hands, heels, lift your hips up. Find bridge pose. If this is your first time doing bridge, watch me get all the way up before you go so you protect your neck. Option to interlace your hands underneath your bum and roll your shoulders underneath to add a little extra chest opening. This is totally optional, not necessary at all. Wherever you are, root into your heels. Draw your knees toward one another. Squeeze your thighs together. Send your tailbone away from you toward your knees, toward the front of your mat. Keep knitting your abs in. Keep opening through your hips and your heart. And when you've had enough, you can roll down slow and controlled, vertebrae by vertebrae. Your tailbone will be the last thing to arrive. And then draw both knees together. Walk your feet out wide to the wide edges of your mat. Broken bridge. Option to bring a hand to your belly and a hand to your heart. Maybe you close your eyes. And come back to your breath. You can keep your Ujjayi for a few more poses, or you're welcome to start releasing it, coming down into our resting poses. It's a nice time to switch your breath and start to find cooling and calming. And gently, ever so gently, remove your hands from your belly and your heart. Separate your knees and walk your feet back in line with your hips. And then let's take a figure four. So cross your right ankle over your left knee, and then send your left knee away from, or your right knee rather, the lifted knee away from your face. Maybe use your right hand to press it away. Feel a little opening through your right hip. Maybe you stay right here with your foot on the floor, or you draw both knees in towards your chest. Engage your abs to draw your knees in. Your hands find the back of your left thigh. Press your tailbone gently back down into the earth to enhance that stretch. And if it feels fabulous, give it a try to rock gently side to side. And get deeper into different areas of your hips. Nice slow shift back and forth. Then gently make your way back to center, back to stillness. Drop your left foot back down to the mat, and we'll switch sides. So now bring your right foot down to the mat as well, both knees bent. Left ankle crosses over right knee. Use your left hand to press your left thigh, knee away from your face. And if this is a great hip stretch, stay here. If you want a little more, draw both knees towards your chest as you press your tailbone down. Grab onto the back of your right thigh to help assist your legs. And maybe you rock side to side once again. Give yourself permission to linger at any little angle of the side to side rock that feels extra nice. Any spots that are asking for you to pause and stay. Give yourself that extra bit of attention. And now come back to the center, come back to stillness. Gently release the crossing of your legs, draw both knees in. Give yourself a big hug and a squeeze. And keep your right knee in this time. Give it a hug. Maybe extend your left leg long. If that feels a little bit too much this morning, you could bend your left knee and put your left foot on the mat. So left leg long or knee bent, your choice. Either way, hug your right knee into your chest and rotate your right ankle around. As you give your right leg a big squeeze and a hug, thank it for all it does for you every day. Inhale as you draw your knee toward your armpit, toward the outside of your body. And then exhale, supine twist. Use your hands to draw your knee across your body now. Drawing it over to the other side. Maybe you stack your right hip on top of your left. And then if it feels good to you, start to work your right shoulder back down to the mat. Maybe your right arm extends out long. Maybe you look back to the right. I encourage you to now release your Ujjayi breath. Start to focus and shift into long, deep, slow inhales and exhales. The hand that's nearest your knees is welcome to gently draw your knees closer to the mat to enhance that twist. Take one more big breath. And as you exhale, gently, gently make your way back to the center. Realign your spine. Perhaps you put both feet flat on the mat to bend your knees and find your neutral spine once again. And then draw your left knee in. Extend your right leg long, or perhaps you keep the right knee bent if that feels better on your lower spine. Wherever you are, hug your left knee in nice and tight. Give it a squeeze, give it some love. Rotate your left ankle in a circle. And rotate it the other way. One more big inhale as you draw your knee toward your left armpit, thanking your leg for all it does for you every single day. And then as you exhale, supine twist, draw your knee across your body. Stack your left hip over your right, draw your left arm, your back arm back down toward the mat. Perhaps that arm extends out long behind you. Perhaps you look back behind you. Come back to your long, deep inhales. Even though we've changed our breath, you can still utilize it this time to really focus on bringing that fresh oxygenated blood into those nooks and crannies, those places that feel a little tight this morning, to help ease into a deeper stretch. Each inhale, send breath there. Each exhale, feel more surrender. One more big inhale. And one more big exhale as you gently find your way back to the center. Realign your spine once again. And then happy baby pose. Draw both knees towards your chest. Flex your feet. And then send your feet toward the ceiling, feet flexed. Knees stay bent. And then your hands will find whatever feels best. Perhaps that's your ankles. Maybe it's the outsides of your feet. Maybe it's your big toes. And then use your hands to draw your knees down towards your armpits, your legs towards the sides, the outer sides of your body, and your tailbone down towards the floor. So your whole spine should be feeling contact with the mat. And maybe you rock side to side. Maybe you straighten one or both legs. What would bring your body the most happiness in this happy pose? Maybe it's stillness. Yoga gives us ample opportunity to go within to find a little more body awareness, a little more breath awareness. And that can help us notice our patterns, our tendencies, the good and the bad. It's almost like we get to step in order to step away and observe, and then we can adjust accordingly. And come back to center here, come back to stillness, and give both knees a big hug, a big squeeze. Tuck your nose in towards your knees. Find a nice ball pose here. Squeeze everything as you give yourself a nice thank you and appreciation hug for bringing yourself to yoga today, for giving yourself a whole hour that was just for you, because you are so, so worth it. And one more big inhale here. Squeeze everything, your fingers, your toes, your ears, your eyes. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. And exhale, Shavasana. Find your resting pose. Extend your arms out nice and long. And your legs out nice and long. And find that beautiful rest. And release it down. I'll give you a few moments here to integrate all your hard work. I will mind the time. Enjoy your beautiful Shavasana. And starting to bring your awareness back. If you have the time and you have the desire to stay in the Shavasana for longer, I invite you to do that. But if it is time to move on to the next adventure of your day, start to deepen your inhales and your exhales. And allow any supportive thoughts or feelings to come in, welcome them. Allow any micro movements that feel good. Maybe you wiggle your fingers and your toes. Rotate your wrists and your ankles gently around. Starting to feel into your body. And then letting that all go. Stretch your arms over your head, stretch your legs out long. Stretch and reach into every magical cell of your body, awakening into you, the one and only wonderful you. And then letting that go, bring your arms down. Maybe you keep your eyes closed. Find your way, gently and in time, up to a comfortable seat. Maybe you pause, lying on one side for a few breaths. Maybe you stay lying down today. And then coming back to the beginning, remembering that you have many powers within you. You have that internal light. You have the ability to cool and warm yourself with breath, with movement, with focusing. So as you come off the mat out into the busy world, if you're feeling a little chill, know that you can warm yourself. Just coming back to your breath, coming back into you. You can calm or you can awaken. You have power, you have strength. You can always bring your yoga practice with you And with that, my friends, I hope you have a blessed and beautiful day today. The teacher in me honors and thanks and appreciates the teacher in all of you. Namaste. Thank you all so very much.